everybody to have such an amazing experience that they cannot not talk about it. I don't need a billion people. I mean, a couple 100,000 would be nice. But for me, it's not about just helping an individual. It's about helping them, helping their family, whether it's parents, siblings, their kids, their future grandkids. Everybody who's a part of what we have has a connection.
So here's the real mystery. How do regular folks like you and me, who have families and real lives, who have careers and regular 9-to-5s, really fare in the personal finance game? Why are some hugely successful while others fail miserably time and time again? Those are the glaring questions, and this podcast will give you the answers. This is EmpowerYou Financial with Eva Palacios.
All right, and welcome to another episode of EmpowerYou Financial with Eva Palacios. My name is Charles McGill. I'm your host. So excited to be talking to you guys today. But before we get started, got to make sure the credit boss, aka credit coach, is in the building. Miss Eva Palacios, you in the house?
Yes. What's up?
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. So for you guys who are going to be seeing this on YouTube soon, just shout out. That was a poor way for me to announce that, but by the way, but just so you guys know, we are going to be putting some of these episodes on YouTube. We're actually creating some right now, and so those who eventually will see this on YouTube will see that I'm wearing the EmpowerYou hoodie.
Yes.
Yeah, I had to rock some of the gear. I noticed I was rocking too much of.
I know all this college, Columbia, all of these people that don't even contribute to our podcast.
Ain't paying us at all. So you know what? Let's go ahead and rock the brand. So yeah. So anyway, how you doing, Eva?
I'm good. I'm good. Yes. Today is a good day.
Okay. You want to tell people why it's a good day, or are you just going to keep it to yourself?
Today, we have officially sold our very first flip investment property.
Woo!
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's yes. I wish we had the little sound effects applause.
I know. I feel like I should have some kind of applause soundboard thing going on. We'll get there one day.
We will. That's the fancy stuff. But no, it's been a long time coming. And for those of you who are thinking about getting into the real estate game, it is no joke. It's an emotional roller coaster. Definitely a lot of ups and downs. Definitely what they put out there on social media, all the fancy, happy ending stuff. That's nice, but in reality, no. It's work. It is work. So I'm just glad. Thank you, Jesus.
Yes.
We can move on.
I've been saying, Eva, because it's funny because, definitely Eva's situation, I wouldn't say is like abnormal. Because definitely she went through a lot of stuff that happens, but it just so happened that everything that could possibly happen seemed to happen with Eva's situation. So right? I said, I think that the reason why it's happened is because God wanted you to go ahead and blaze a trail for us and experience all the ups and downs that could possibly happen. So
that has to be the only reason that this is happening to me. Because I'm like, what have I done wrong? Like, who am I doing wrong that I deserve this type of experience? Like, what is going on? But that's the only logical explanation is he's like, look, you want to get into real estate investing? Let me show you.
That's right.
And then all of it happened.
That's
bad.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to you.
Yes. I cannot wait to celebrate. I'm going to have like 30 margaritas. You're not going to see me all weekend.
Hey, enjoy yourself. That is all good. Yeah, no. And I know you've got some other ones coming down the pipe as well. And
yes,
I'm excited about, some joint ventures maybe one day in the future.
Yes.
Yeah, so, we still miss.
And that's really like, honestly, that's the only thing that's keeping me. Cause I'm just like, okay, wait a minute. Okay. I can invest here and I can make money in X amount of months and whatever. or I can just grind this business and make the money in my 100% control, and I'll be okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, everybody's thing is different, but what keeps me alive or what keeps me wanting to continue with real estate investing, even though I had, a not so good first experience, was to show other people they can do it. To show other people that, I went through that. Oh, yeah, you crying about that? Well, check this story out. Mm-hmm. And really give people the hope that they can invest in real estate. And really and that's, another thing is, it sucks, knowing what I went through, but all of it was learning and lessons and experience where I can share that with the group. I can share that with my followers. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also, you're the wiser, and now the next go round, you're even more, prepared to kind of, make sure certain things happen a certain way and ask the right questions and position yourself. So,
set those expectations.
There it is. But yeah, so congratulations on that. I would say in terms of what's going on my end, just grinding away, man. This entrepreneur stuff is so hard.
No joke.
I can't front. See, this is the thing. We're going to keep it real on this podcast.
We sure are.
We ain't going to be telling y'all, all this like...
Yes, quit your job, start a business. You'll be a millionaire tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it don't work out that way. Now, I will tell you, obviously, the job, has has a cap. It has a ceiling, if you will, in terms of what you can make. You have much more potential to make whatever you want as an entrepreneur. So, but what does that mean? So it's so funny because I never thought about this like before until like now I'm experiencing it. But it's like, okay, everybody wants to become a millionaire, right? Become a millionaire. Let's be a millionaire. That sounds awesome, right? Yeah, having $1 million does sound awesome. And by the way, I'm nowhere near that. So don't come knocking, asking me no questions.
We poor people over here.
Yeah, that's right. But the thing is, I can see the path. So, for me doing what I'm doing, I'm like, oh, okay, just if I multiply my efforts or, structure things a certain way, there is a path towards this, right? And that wasn't clear in my 9-to-5. There was no clear path towards becoming a millionaire. So, but here's the thing. There's a path, but I'm looking at that path and I'm like, whoa, do you see all that, the dips and the traps and all? Whoa, that
forks in the road
and all that. I'm like, yo, that is not a smooth path. That don't look like a path that many people would really want to travel. Right now, it's funny because I was just hearing from another podcast that I listened to. They were saying how, it's, if you go through it and you get to the other side, it is amazing. It's better than you could ever imagine once you get to the other side, but you got to go through it. And that's the part where a lot of people quit, give up, turn around. Yeah. And hey, you know what? I'm not mad at y'all because you know what? It ain't for everybody. It is.
That's right.
It's rough. So, but with that said, I'm still, encouraged, still pressing on. My wife's business, we're trying to, do some things in that. And I play a big role in making sure that's good. And then my own business. And so it's just like, it's just a lot. It's a lot of what my wife asked me today. She was like, so what's harder, being a principal or being an entrepreneur? And I was like, man, they both hard to be honest.
Choose your hard.
Choose your hard. And I think the difference is, like I said, with principalship, there was a certain, limit. I could only make a certain amount, and my impact was only a certain amount.
Yeah, you're capped. Income capped. What you can do and say capped.
Yep. And
there's rules and guidelines.
Exactly. Somebody above me that can take it away from me.
Yeah.
But in this role, that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all on me. So different. And so I'm enjoying it. But
yep.
Anyway, so we got a podcast to get to, but
yes.
What I kind of wanted to talk to you about today was it's funny because it's kind of along the same lines of my entrepreneurship, but a lot of people have been asking me here and there, just about how we've been able to become successful so fast, right? I'm gonna say relatively, right? I'm not saying we ain't blown up, we ain't millionaires, right? We ain't even close to there. But in terms of how, when people first start a business, like either it's daycare or whatever, or even this digital marketing thing I'm doing, we've been able to have some pretty quick success. That isn't normal, right?
Yeah.
So people have asked me why, how, and there's a lot of things I think about, but the one thing I mainly think about, and I think is the main driver is that we really try our best to the extent that we can. We try our best to really make sure our clients are having a good experience.
Yes.
We really, really focus on that. Now I will say I'm not perfect. And I'm not going to say that every client that we've ever had has been, 100% happy all the time. Because we're not perfect.
Right.
We're growing, we're learning. But I will say that it is in our heart to try our best to make sure that is the experience.
Absolutely.
And if we can fix it, we try to. And so that's the one thing, but I haven't. So a reason why I say that is because while we're going through this process of, becoming the best we can be in terms of our company, we've been having to deal with a lot of different people who work in, let's just say, customer service type roles, right?
Yes.
And it really strikes me sometimes when the service that I'm receiving, I could tell when the person just don't want to have that job.
Right. I'm like, can I help you? Do you not want to work here? Because you should not be unhappy right now. Let's put you in a happy place. Why do people do that to themselves?
They don't want to be there. They don't want to be talking to me. And here's the thing. I get it. I'm not mad at you. I get it. If you feel like your job or whatever you're doing is not, what you want to be doing, I get it. Listen, hey, do your thing. But here's the thing. We're here now.
Yes.
And right now, you are the person helping me because that is your role. And I ain't got nothing to do with those issues. Please, can you just give me the service that I need right now so I can go about my day? And the thing is, I think about that and I also think about that because I'm like, man, these, some of these folks, unfortunately, they may be so frustrated that they can't really see how that's hurting them.
Right.
And they may have a desire to, be an entrepreneur or do something else. Here's the thing though. You never know who you're talking to. You never know who can help you. And not that I'm like somebody, great or anything like that. I'm not Eva Palacios, right? I'm just,
oh no, get out of here. Whatever.
I'm just little old Charles McGill. But here's the thing. I may know some things that can help you out. And maybe, if we have a good experience with each other, maybe there's a connection or there's something that I could do. But because of the bad experience, I'm not with it. Right. I'm like, and so anyway, the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because, I feel like, I get privy to, a lot of the messages that Eva gets. Well, I guess you guys don't know that, but I do. And so a lot of things that come.
He's got my Facebook password.
But she's always talking. It's never me. I'm never talking, but it's always her. But I see the stuff. So, but one thing that strikes me a lot, a question that Eva, you get a lot, is how did you become who you became? How did you do all this stuff? And one thing that you say a lot and you believe in, and you've told me, and we talk about this as a fundamental value for the company.
Yep.
To love on your people.
Yes.
And so
yes.
Talk to me a little bit about that and how that connection, how you got to where you are and why loving on your people is such an important thing to you. What do you mean by that?
And it's crazy because, I don't know, for those of you who know me since way back when, I've always kind of been like a happy person. Like I've never been like, even if I have a bad day, like you would never know, you would never never know nothing going wrong unless we're having a conversation about it. So one, I've always been like that, but most importantly, I have to say that definitely being around certain type of people and pouring into me on certain occasions. So, okay. So just for the fact of love on your people, I actually got that from one of my mentors who she probably doesn't even think she's a mentor to me, but she's totally a mentor to me, Bobby. When I was in my first network marketing company and, I had the job, had to make a decision, decided I ain't commuting. That's for the birds. So let me go full force in my network marketing company. I was only in my network marketing company for about a year when I had to make that decision. So my business was still a hobby. And it's so crazy how things just work. But I literally left that job March 4th and April 6th. I went to my very first networking event and it was learn how to build your business using Facebook. And I'm like, oh, I think I could use that. And, this was back in 2015. And at this event, I meet Bobby. And Bobby was just a light in the room. You wouldn't know this, but super introvert, didn't talk to nobody. I got to the event. There was people everywhere chopping it up like they were all best friends. I found the emptiest row ever and I sat in my chair and I just waited. I wasn't trying to talk to nobody.
That sounds like me. That's what I like to do.
Yeah. Yes. So I sit down and now, the event is about to start. Somebody sits next to me and then Bobby sits next to that person and they're having a conversation. I'm thinking they got there together and they just have known each other their entire lives, but no, they were complete strangers. Fast forward time. Bobby took my business card. She ended up reaching out to me. The common denominator was our network marketing businesses. She did something else. I did my company, but long story short, we became such good friends. She actually ended up on my team for the company that I was doing my business with. And she taught me love on your people. Eva, you will never understand what somebody is going through unless they tell you. And here's what really resonated. One time we were going to a meeting in Sacramento and I'm driving. And I could see in my rear view, because when I'm driving, like I see everything. I'm like super cautious. I see in my rear view mirror, somebody is like speeding, like they got to get someplace. And, I told her, I said, this guy behind me is coming real fast. So I don't want you to freak out, but he's going like weaving in and out of the traffic. So as soon as he passes me up, I basically was like, what a dirt ball in a nicer terms of words. And she was like, we can automatically assume that he's just being, not so smart on the road. But what if she like so crazy? She's like, what if he has a pregnant wife in the passenger seat and she's about to go into labor and he needs to get her to the hospital? And I'm like, you're absolutely right. So instead of me getting mad at the situation and having road rage because this guy is going crazy on the freeway, we don't know what's happening with that person. So from that point forward, she taught me how to love on people. Every individual has different personalities. They have different, they're different. And depending upon what they're going through at that moment in their life, we may see that they're unhappy, but what if they just lost their parent and they had to go back to work? Or what if they, something happened that was devastating and they're giving out this negative energy and we can automatically assume, well, that person is just unhappy. Like you shouldn't be working here.
Yeah.
So I've just always learned to love on your people, try to be a little bit more understanding ask questions if they're willing to reveal what's going on. But most importantly, be your best self and don't let that negative energy transfer to you and have that now turn you into somebody else.
So why is it important though to love on your people? And I want to put this in the context of, for those of folks who are, they're maybe they're frustrated, with where they are, and they're frustrated with their current job or their current role or, a partnership or relationship or whatever it is. And so, because they're frustrated, the natural thing sometimes is to be a little nasty, right? To show your frustration, right?
Yeah.
And it sounds like to me, what you're part of what, is foundational to you, you talk about is, loving on the people, and you're just talking about being empathetic and understanding like where they're coming from. But what I'm trying to get to is like, for the person who's in that position, in that role, who's like that customer service rep, let's say that's their job, or they're a teacher or a bus driver or whatever, and the students are making them upset,
acting crazy in the back,
and they want to give them a little piece of their mind. And sometimes they do.
Yeah.
Why is that? Like, why would you advise against it? And, and why?
Would I advise against what?
Like, being a little nasty,
like lashing out on people and going postal.
Hey, sometimes, you get a little frustrated. It's all right.
I don't know. I guess I'm just different. I don't know. Like, I will never understand like why people can go crazy on other people. I'm like, I don't know. Go take a kickboxing class, go run, go beat up a punching bag, like do something that's going to get that negative energy out of you, but that's not going to affect somebody else. That, there's not an innocent bystander that's in the way because of what's going on. I don't know. I guess I'm just a type of person that I'm always trying to find solutions so that they can have a better experience. I don't know. I just feel like I got to drop good energy wherever I go because I want that good energy to come back. And it's way easier. Well, to some people, to me, it's way easier to give out positive energy and that good energy because the last thing people need is negative on negative.
So you said something important there. You said you wanted to come back. So explain that a little bit more. Cause I feel like, that may be
that good karma, good karma.
So you believe in that?
Absolutely. Yes. Which, for those who are following me on social media, the other day on my Facebook, I posted, it's a whole nother level when you can turn away business or opportunities when the other person or business, their core values don't align with you. And that's super important to me. I've always, in my own network marketing business, we always use this terminology, which is never sacrifice integrity for growth. Don't do things, ugly things, don't sacrifice your integrity for growth. Like if you're doing good and you're putting out that good karma, that good energy, more business is going to come your way. And I just think a lot of people forget that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay. So let's put it in the context of once again, that person who I want you to speak directly to that person who's in that job, who's frustrated. Why is it important for them to care about the experience their customers are having?
Because at the end of the day, they're the frontliner. Like at the end of the day, if I'm showing up to a place of business and that one individual is not giving me an amazing experience, I'm not coming back. And not only will I not come back, I probably will put a nasty review somewhere. And we cannot let the one individual give us that nasty experience on the whole company. And that's really what it comes down to is who's your frontliners and how are they handling the customers that's going to give the overall impression of the business or the brand.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get you. Okay, I'm trying to get you to
what are you trying to get me to say?
Talk to the person that's doing the customer service, not the company. Not because the person who's on the front lines.
I'm going to be like, girl, let's go to lunch right now. What are we going to talk about?
Yeah, but okay. So talk to them because the thing is like, they don't, and I'll just put, cause I'm not so far removed from 9 to 5 so like right now as a business owner, that makes sense to me, right?
Yeah.
You're like, okay, why would you got to be thinking about the brand and everything else, right? But I'm talking about the person who's on the front line who don't care about the company and the brand, because all they care about is the check that they're getting. That's it, right? And but they don't, and they're frustrated. They don't want to be at that job, right? They want to earn more money. They want to do more things. Maybe they've been listening to us on the podcast. Maybe they've been watching us in the Facebook group. Maybe
you got to go. You got to get out of there. You cannot be unhappy at a place that you're working at, because all you're doing is you're not only doing a disservice to the public, you're doing a disservice to yourself. Get up and go. Don't dim your light because of a paycheck. Don't sacrifice your happiness because you need to get this paycheck. Find something that you're happy about. If you're not too sure, get with people who can allow you to dream, allow you to have a vision, allow you to maybe see what talent you have, and you can turn that into an income producing opportunity.
Hey, quick break here. Sorry to interrupt the podcast. We'll get you right back to it. We just want to spend a few seconds to talk about the EmpowerYou financial group on Facebook. This is Eva's private Facebook group where she gives free tips, tricks, and strategies to improve your financial situation. Join the over 1,000 plus member community and see the success stories of people just like you who want to live life on their own terms. Come laugh with us, tell your story, and share your victories. Just search EmpowerYou Financial in Facebook and join our free private group. Oh, and be sure to invite a friend.
So what I'm trying to get at is, that person, they can hear that, right? But maybe they're like, you know what? That's not possible for me. They don't, there's no job openings for me to get up and go. What I'm trying to get, like, they're where they're at.
Yeah.
Right. So why is it important for them to be the best version of themselves in where they are? And I'll give you an example. Okay. So your son, Desmond, right? I had the pleasure of experiencing him recently. I had a positive.
Oh, yay!
He was my rep, right? And great experience. Knowledgeable, was friendly. Of course, he knows me, but I could tell this is something that, is a part of what he does, right? And, was courteous and professional to his manager. Shout out to Satha,
Yes.
But the experience was good. They were friendly to me and everything. But I know obviously it's me, but I could tell because I was watching him with customers before me that this is just a part of what he does. It's part of who he is and what he does.
I know, my baby.
And you were telling me that because of, his, even though he's only been there for a short amount of time, because of how he's been behaving, he's been someone who's been, maybe considered to be a potential person for another opportunity.
Right.
Right. And I'm imagining the reason why he got that was likely because of the experience that he gives his customers and how he approaches his work. Right.
Yep.
So what I'm saying is for those people who are, maybe frustrated. And so to get out of that, they're looking for different answers and they're going to podcasts and they're going to different places and they're going to and I'm thinking, okay, well, let's just first start off with what you're doing, right? What you're doing now and being the best version, because people don't really realize, you said this before, you said you want that good karma to come back to you, right?
Yep.
So you're putting out good karma. So I've noticed that as also a wealth building principle that you use as well.
Yep.
You tend to, you handle business a certain way because you feel like that's going to come back. One thing we do with each other a lot is we pay each other. My wife still teases us, teases me about that, but we'll sit there. Me and you will sit here just like we are right now, talking to each other.
It's Friday. Let's go.
Sending each other checks. Like literally we're sending each other checks. Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, she's like, it's so funny that y'all do that. But because we we understand the value that each other has in our lives, right?
Right.
And so we want to make sure that we put that karma out and say, hey, I'm going to compensate you because I appreciate you and what you do.
Right.
So back to this person. I want you to talk to this person because they're out here and they're listening.
Yeah.
And they want to know, well, how can I become like you, Eva? I'm stuck at this 9-to-5 and I want to be like you. And maybe, and I'm not saying that they're all, that person is being nasty to their customers, but sometimes they are.
Right.
And sometimes the thing is they can't see why that even matters because the job don't matter, right? I don't want to be in this job anyway. It don't matter how I treat people or whatever. I'm trying to get up out of here.
Yeah.
But what I understand just from being around you, all of it matters.
Yes, absolutely. It all matters because, okay, so, going back to this person, if I leave here, I don't have another job on the line. I don't have, something immediate that I could get hired for. Times are tough. No one's hiring. Okay. And if the frustration is, and usually the frustration is maybe the monies ain't right. Maybe the finances ain't right. So you feel maybe that you're not making enough money. Well, instead of, going out there and attempting to get a new job, which if you're already thinking there aren't any jobs out there to do, then you have to be the best version of yourself so that you can be able to move up within the company that you're at. That's constantly what I'm telling Desmond. I'm like, look, you're getting your foot into the door here, but in banking, it can evolve to all kinds of stuff. You can be the assistant branch manager. Shoot, you can be the manager. You can be the loan officer. You can start with this bank. You can go with another bank. You can get into investments. And I always tell him it's all he hears these. He hears me, he hears everything around where I'm like, it's all about the experience. Whatever you do out there, give a good experience, make people love you, because when people love you and you're likable, people are just going to start being your friend. And sure enough, he be coming home with stories about all these people, these real estate investors that be chopping it up. And they're like, hey, if you ever want to get into real estate investing, here's my card. More opportunities are opening up. I'm like,
Okay. So there you go. So stay there. All right. So there we are. Right. So we're giving out that good karma.
Yeah.
Because the good karma is being sent out. Now some things are coming back that may not have happened if our karma was bad. Right.
That's right.
If our energy was bad. I don't imagine that real estate investor would be saying, hey, give me a call. Let me know if you want to talk it, a little bit more. If he wasn't getting a good experience, if the energy was bad, right?
That is right.
So tell us a little bit more about that, because here's the thing that I think people miss. And I'm not on the other side of this, guys. I'm still through my journey of making money and trying to, to get things right. Right. But one thing, and I'm trying to get Eva to say this to you guys, because it's a key principle that I know that I think she does it so often and so much that she doesn't even.
I probably don't even realize it.
Right. But the thing is, it's those relationships and how she builds those relationships and how she loves on people.
Yep.
That then people want to love on her. Right.
Yeah.
It's a reciprocal thing that keeps happening. And I think a lot of people miss that, because when you are lacking, when you don't have a lot, when you don't have a lot of money, you don't have a lot of information, things are hard. The tendency is to close up, right? To shield, to protect. And I'm not saying it's all bad. I'm not trying to say people are malicious or mean, but they're trying to guard themselves. They're guarding their hearts. They're guarding their feelings. And sometimes that can come across cold or nasty or whatever, or you're frustrated, but you're guarding things, right? But here's the thing. In order for you to actually move up and get more money, you actually have to do the opposite.
Yeah.
You got to open yourself up and be kind. And because when you plant those seeds will come back to you.
Or just have conversations. It's not even so for all the introverts that are out there that are like, oh my gosh, I got to talk to people. Man, I was that person. I was the introvert. And the moment I started talking to people, I'm like, what in the world? Why aren't everybody talking to one another? Because every person is filled with so much information that could add value to you. That little golden nugget, that little idea, that phrase, that one word could give you the keys to the city to allow you to do other things. And yeah, at the end of the day, it is about having conversations, being transparent, being honest, being you, but at the same time, having these conversations to build relationships. Because man, this world is filled with amazing people that you're like, where have you been all my life? Yeah. We need to hang out more.
I mean, your network is your net worth, right? That's what
Absolutely.
they say. But I feel like I haven't really experienced this at the level that I have until I start hanging out with you. I'm just gonna be frank with you.
Yeah.
Even recently, just something as simple as getting my vaccination, right? I got the Johnson & Johnson a few weeks back. But before that, me and my wife were having a hard time getting, on the schedule or whatever, right? And we got Kaiser. It was just like, it was a trip.
Yeah.
So I'm working out every morning, with Coach because of you, right? But Coach is a great guy, and we're talking. One of those times where it was just me and him, and somehow that came up. He says, "Hey, if you're having trouble, why don't you just talk to Brian?" Right? I'm like, "Talk to Brian? Why would I talk to Brian?" Well, Brian works at Kaiser. He can help you out.
Yeah, you should have told me. I would have told you that.
I didn't know that, right? But see, I'm like, okay.
If you didn't have these conversations, you wouldn't know, right?
Let me reach out to Brian, and shout out to Brian. Yep. Brian was on the podcast before.
Yep.
And is a faithful listener. So shout out to Brian. But I reached out to Brian. I'm like, hey, Brian, I heard you, might, be the plug. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Right. He's like, yeah, I can help you out. And he was like, he was like, hey man, so, all you got to do is X, Y, Z, this and that. And so I followed his steps, made some progress. He checked in on me. Hey, did it work out? I was like, yeah, I got an appointment like in 2 days or whatever. Right. He was like, cool, got the appointment, got it done, bam, bam. And the reason why it was so important is because we had that video shoot day, the content creation day that we needed to move things around.
I know.
But anyway, I mean, the point is that something that was taking us weeks, me and my wife taking us weeks, we were going nowhere.
Yeah.
Talk to the right person, and all of a sudden, boom, right?
Yes.
And why is that? Well, because I feel like the relationships, right? The relationships that have been developed, the relationship, you had obviously a long relationship with Brian, but there's something about, how you treat people, how you love on people.
And be the asset that connects people. Like I love, like people be like, hey, Eva, do you know this person? I'm like, yes, let me connect you. Like, yes. Why not share and connect people to resources or other people or things that would just help them get to wherever they're trying to go faster? Like there are people in this world that we won't even go there, but they're like trying to hoard all of their information and knowledge, but they're putting it on social media. But then when you ask them, they're not trying to let you know. And it's like, then why put it on social media if you're not going to tell me?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's definitely that good karma and connecting people and just being a resource to people, being an asset to people.
So in terms of building your wealth, right? In terms of how you've, become this person who is financially stable, how has this principle of loving on your people, how has that played a role?
Oh man, everything. Number one, being at the job for 17 years, that's one thing that I got really, really good at. Everything that I did was over the phone. Every annual review, I killed it. Why? Because no matter how bad of a day I was having or how bad a customer treated me, every time I answered the phone, you could hear my smile. And that would always be all over my annual reviews. But guess what? I was in a cubicle. I was talking to people over the phone. I wasn't getting out. I wasn't talking to like strangers in person, which is completely different when you're doing it on the phone. So for 17 years, I was actually an introvert because I was in a cubicle. And then for 10 of those 17 years, I was at home in my office all by myself. The moment I was introduced to network marketing, build a business. I had no idea how to even do that. But the people in that industry, these are the people that love on you, want to train you, want to help you grow, want to help you level up. So as my first experience out of my normal corporate job, I had that environment and I loved it. And for my network marketers that are out there, they all know what I'm talking about. It's a different culture. It's a different world of people actually trying to help you rise to the top and collectively work together as a team. So early on, I got a taste of that. And I'm like, I like this. Like, I really like this. But because people loved on me, I made it the number one core value. And we're going to do this with whatever we do, anything that we do. And now EmpowerYou's created. Guess what? We're doing all kinds of things. You know, we're investing in real estate. I'm helping other people launch their businesses. I'm helping people create their entities so that they can become a business owner, so that they too can love on their future people and keep that same energy going.
So tell me, why do you think so many people miss this? Like, why? Because one
They're
thing,
not in the right environment.
Well, see, because one thing, and I just want to name it, because I'll say this, you know, I really feel for a lot of the people out there who are struggling with, you know, trying to get more money, trying to get better credit, trying to really improve their lives. I understand it because I feel like I've been, you know, in a frustrating pattern for a lot of the time, and you know, making all the right decisions as far as I knew, right? You know, just try to be the best person I could be in terms of what I understood, but one thing I did not see, and I couldn't see because I was an introvert, or maybe just because I just wanted to, you know, keep things close to my chest. But I didn't understand the value of the relationships, like and how, you know, how much leverage you can have when you just know the right people.
Yes.
And, like, I always thought it had to be like for example, like I remember there was we had a recent call with the coach. Sorry, different coach.
We got all kinds of coaches.
Coach Carter, right? What you know about flipping with a purpose. And so, you know, he was one of our guests for our Lions Club. And, you know, we were talking about some of this phenomenon around relationships. And because I remember, you know, initially we were talking about real estate investing, and a lot of people were kind of thinking of it as they had to have certain ducks in a row, right? They had to have certain things on paper, look a certain way. And that's how I used to think too. I used to have to think, like, if I wanted to get a promotion or I wanted to do certain things in life, I had to just have this pedigree or have certain things a certain way in order for people to accept me. But
right.
What I realized, what I've been realizing in terms of even building this wealth or being an entrepreneur, that part of it is like, it means a little bit, but the main thing that really matters is who you know and what relationship you have with them.
Yes.
Because, like, he gave an example of, he's like, listen, guys, I know I keep talking about how your credit needs to be right. And he was saying, you know, I'm not worried about this because this group, you know, this is what obviously everybody in here is going to be having good credit. But the thing is, he was saying, he was like, it really just matters about the relationship that I've established with them, because even if my credit tanked, he's like, I've done so many good deals with them, and our relationship is so strong that I'll still get funded. Like, it don't matter, right? And that was an amazing light bulb moment, because it's like, yeah, man, you know, this whole building wealth thing, it is about getting your stuff together on paper. It is about, you know, doing all the right things. And also, probably even more so, it's about the people you know. It's about the people you know, what you're learning from them, how you're leveraging the information that you get, the connections.
And I've always said, it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. Mm-hmm. See, the what is, I got to look this, and this, and this on paper. But if you got the right who, you may not need all of that stuff looking good on paper. And at the end of the day, like, you know, for me and my hubby are old school. You give us your word, that's all we need. But the moment you go back on your word, you're done. You're donezo. Like, nope. Ain't no coming back from that. And that's how we roll. That's how we operate. Like, we don't have time to be playing games. We don't have time to be wasted or lost. Like, if you say this is what you're going to do, then stick with it. Because if you don't, bridges are going to be burned, and I have no problem with that. I will find somebody else. and I just think, you know, a lot of people have fallen away from that value.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah. Well, it's an important and often overlooked wealth building tool.
Yes.
I think a lot of people either miss it or underestimate it, or really just don't talk about it, I think, explicitly.
Or they don't see the importance behind it.
Yeah.
Because maybe they've never had to build relationships, because maybe all of their relationships aren't so tight and close knit.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's why I'm like, I have certain people in my network that I'm like, yep, you get in that business. Yep, you get in that business. Not just because, you know, you're awesome, but because they take care of my people. Yeah. They take care of my people how I would take care of my people. And that is so important. Mm-hmm. So important, because it is about the experience. Yeah,
about the experience. And, you know, it's, to me, I just really wanted people to, you know, understand that, because I think, you know, when we're trying to build these things, and we talk about a lot of different things, and we talk about some things explicitly, like, you know, your credit inquiries, and we've done podcasts around, you know, very technical things about, you know, getting yourself together. But I think this one thing is often overlooked, right? Is those relationships and how you build them, and, you know, and also just being the best version of yourself in whatever you're doing, right? So if you're starting a business, you know, making sure you are doing everything to make sure that customer is satisfied. If you're working a 9-to-5, making sure you do everything to make sure you're doing the best job you possibly can, because it comes back to you. It comes back to you in ways you can't even imagine. I feel like this is a little bit about like what we talked about last week with the being a faithful over few, people over many, but it's a different angle, right? It's a different angle. And I think it's often overlooked. We just kind of don't really, I won't say, you know, of course I'm generalizing here, but I think I often don't hear it talked about when we're hearing the gurus and different people talking about how to make money, massive money. It's about your system. It's about your business and this and that and marketing and all that other stuff. Yeah, that's all cool and all. But you gotta love on people.
Yes, take care of them. Yes, take care of them, appreciate them, especially if these are people that are on your team, on your squad, a part of whatever they do to contribute to you. Yes, you got to take care of them. Take care of them, because you can't have that crazy high turnover rate. You can't have the crazy high turnover rate in business, in friendships. No, that's all bad. Build that relationship. Be solid with one another so that you can rock. Yeah. Because you really can build on that. Okay. So, you know, well, I guess we'll be wrapping it up soon. I really want you to, I'm sorry, it kind of took us a while to kind of get around to it. Get it out of me. Yeah. Well, because I just really wanted, I really wanted us to talk to that person, right? To that person who, is frustrated, you know, and because I remember being there. I remember being, you know, similar to them in terms of like, hey, I'm stuck here. I want to get to there. Yeah. Right. And they're kind of overlooking where they currently are, at almost dismissing it. Like, nah, I don't even worry about this because I'm trying to get somewhere else. I'm not worried about this and how I'm viewed or what, you know, any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. Actually, I talk about, it's funny. I talk about this with my daughters, right? Because sometimes they're like, oh, I just want to, I'm going to go to college. Just, you know, I don't care about high school. I'm like, no. You do have to care about high school. You got to make sure that high school is tight, or else you're not going to graduate. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to go or to the college you want to go to, because the college is judging you based on how you do there. That's right. Before you come hang out with us in college, we want to figure out how you was acting in high school. That's Are you worthy to hang out with us? Right. So I think a lot of people misunderstand that, because, you know, while, you know, you're maybe looking for an opportunity, it's funny. I'll say it like this: while you are looking for an opportunity is looking at you. That's right.
And so you're judging and saying, hey, I think this opportunity is for me. I think I'm worthy of it, but maybe the opportunity don't think you worthy of it.
That is right. You ain't ready for it.
You ain't ready for it. And how do you demonstrate that? Well,
Mm-hmm.
you know, one of the ways that I've seen that works really well is to love on the people like that, you know, love what you're doing, love who you're doing with, and do it as best you can. And those opportunities tend to open up.
That's right.
I feel like
that's right.
You know,
I think you just closed it out.
Oh man, you know, I didn't mean to do that, but because this is something, you know, just for y'all listening, this is something I watch Eva do all the time. And so, you know, I don't know that Eva, I don't know that you've sat and really thought about it.
Yeah.
Because you just do it.
It's natural. Like, it's just a part of what I do. Yeah. But I do catch myself telling other people, love on your people. Like, make sure you take care of them. You know, for all of you, you know, business owners that got employees, love on your people. Don't just, you know, they're not just a worker bee you could have checked to. You take care of them. They could excel. They could become more than what you ever thought you would hire them to do. Only when they're in the right environment. Even for my network marketers, the people who are leaders or mentors, love on your people, check in with them, ask them, how are you doing? How's family? You know, it doesn't always have to be, and it shouldn't always have to be about business, but check in with your people because you never know what somebody could be going through. But I mean, think about it. So many people are unloved that when they are loved, they're like, oh, I kind of like this feeling. I like this environment. Maybe this is what I should be doing. Maybe I should be going over there instead. Maybe I got to quit here and do that. Or maybe I got to leave this department and go over there because I like how they're treating their people. You got to love all your people, you know, for the coaches and the gurus that are out there that are selling these courses. Don't be making about just selling the courses and, you know, sell it once, make money once. No, love on your people. Check in with them. How are you doing? How's your experience? You know, have you gotten everything that you've ever dreamt of by getting this? If nobody is talking good about you and you done sold them something, they may not be excited about what they just bought. They may not be having a good experience. And that right there, I don't know, it's so precious to me. I know we had a conversation when we first were starting this, and I'm like, I just want to make sure I don't have more people than what I can serve because I need to take care of all of my people. Whatever level that they're at, I need to be available for them. And granted, like, I don't know how big we're going to get where, you know, you may not get me anymore, but know that that is still my number one priority, is making sure everybody has a great experience and that they're learning, that they're implementing, and that they're being held accountable for what we are coaching them on. Super duper important to check on your people.
Yeah. So to close this out, I'll just ask you, you know, one last time, like, why is that so important? Like, why does that matter to you, Eva, as you're building, we're building this, and this is something that you're like, okay, this has to be foundational. We got to make sure that we're loving on people. We got to make sure that we're able to serve everyone. You know, we don't go too big that we can't serve people the right way. Why is that so important?
It's the number one core value we have. And it's important because, number one, I want everybody to have such an amazing experience that they cannot not talk about it. I don't need a billion people. I mean, you know, a couple 100,000 would be nice. But for me, it's not about just helping an individual. It's about helping them, helping their family, whether it's parents, siblings, their kids, their future grandkids. Everybody who's a part of what we have has a connection because somebody has referred somebody, they've heard about it by somebody else is in the program and they want to be a part of it. Why do they want to be a part of it? Because they are feeling loved and amazingness and they are seeing results. And at the end of the day, those are the people I want to serve. I want to serve the people who are constantly referring and just being excited because of the information that we're giving, It's transforming people's lives. And that's what I love. Not just you got the information, great, but no, because of this, you got this. And now you got this. And now you have a better relationship with your spouse. Maybe now you have a better relationship with your kids because you're actually talking about money and finances, that you actually see that sparkle in their eyes, something that you wish you had at their age, but now you're their mentor, you're their coach. And that just continues to be generational. I want to know people. I want to know the family. I want to know when people are having babies or when they're going on their next property, when the kids are off to college. Those are the relationships I want to have.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. And we will see you guys in the next episode.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Empower You Financial with Eva Palacios. One of the things that Eva enjoys most about being in personal finance is seeing people win. So if you are looking to improve your credit score because you're ready to make a major purchase, get better rates, or start living life on your own terms, visit Eva at evaempowers.com and schedule a consultation with her so you too can live life empowered.